The chair no one wanted. Have you ever judged something too quickly, only to realize later that you were completely wrong? Sometimes we don't question what we believe. We don't check the facts. We just accept a story and let it guide our behavior. This is the story of a chair that everyone avoided, and the quiet truth it revealed. In the middle of a busy city, there was a large office building where hundreds of people worked every day. Inside, rows of cubicles stretched across open floors, filled with computer screens, paperwork, and the constant hum of routine. Among the employees was a woman named Mira. Mira was quiet, observant, and hardworking. She didn't gossip much. She didn't complain. She came to work, did her job with care, and went home. Every morning, Mira arrived early. Before most people entered the building, she would make herself a cup of tea and sit at her desk in the soft silence of the office. She liked those early minutes. Before phones rang, before meetings began, before the noise of the day took over. Her life followed a simple rhythm: work, home, rest, repeat. One Monday morning, an announcement spread through the office. A new manager was joining the company. Almost immediately, whispers began. Is he strict? Will he change everything? Will people lose their jobs? No one had met him yet, but stories were already forming. His name was Mr. Kapoor. On his first day, he walked through the office calmly, greeting people with a polite smile. He spoke softly, asked thoughtful questions, and listened more than he talked. Then he entered his glass-walled cabin and closed the door. Nothing dramatic happened. No rules were announced. No one was scolded. But something strange began that very week. There was a small break room on Mira's floor, a simple place with a counter, a tea machine, and a round table with 4 chairs. It was where people gathered for lunch, quick breaks, and quiet conversations. But after the new manager joined, one chair at that table became different. People stopped sitting on it. At first, Mira thought it was a coincidence, but over time she noticed a pattern. 3 chairs would fill quickly. The 4th one remained empty. If it was the only chair left, people preferred to stand. Some leaned against the counter. Some took their tea and left. No one touched that chair. One afternoon, Mira finally asked a colleague named Rohan, "Why does no one sit on that chair?" she asked gently. Rohan smirked. "You don't know," he said. "That's the chair the last employee who got fired used to sit on." Mira frowned. "But that was months ago." Rohan shrugged. "Still, people say it's bad luck. That was all it took." The story grew. Some said the chair was cursed. Some said sitting there brought problems. Some said the manager watched whoever sat there more closely. No one checked. No one questioned. They just believed. Days turned into weeks. The chair stayed empty. Mira watched this quietly. She found it strange how intelligent adults, people with degrees and experience, could be afraid of a piece of furniture. One afternoon, the break room was full. Every chair was taken, except that one. Mira entered with her lunchbox and paused. A few people glanced at her, then at the empty chair, then back at her. Someone joked nervously, "Careful, Mira. That's the unlucky chair." Mira smiled. But inside, she felt something settle. Why were people letting a rumor decide their actions? Why were they giving power to a story no one had verified? She walked over and sat down on the chair. For a moment, the room went quiet. Then someone laughed awkwardly. Conversation slowly returned. Nothing happened. No phone call, no warning, no disaster. The next day, Mira sat on the same chair again. And the day after that, some people whispered that she was brave. Others said she didn't believe in anything. But Mira believed in one simple thing: fear should not decide where you sit. One afternoon, as Mira finished her tea, someone entered the break room. It was Mr. Kapoor. He looked around, then pointed to the chair next to her. "May I sit here?" he asked calmly. Mira nodded. They sat in silence for a moment. Then he said, "I've noticed you always sit on that chair." Mira smiled. "Yes, everyone else avoids it." He looked curious. "Why?" She told him the story, about the employee who was fired, about the rumor, about the fear. Mr. Kapoor listened carefully. Then he said something simple. "Do you know why that employee was fired?" Mira shook her head. "He was fired because he lied in his reports," he said, "and blamed others for his mistakes. The chair had nothing to do with it." Mira smiled quietly. Mr. Kapoor added, "It seems the chair took the blame so people wouldn't have to face the truth." The next day, something unexpected happened. When Mira entered the break room, Mr. Kapoor was already there, sitting. People froze. If the manager wasn't afraid, what were they afraid of? Slowly, the spell broke. People sat on the chair again. Laughter returned. The story faded. But Mira didn't forget. She learned something important. Sometimes we don't just judge people too quickly. We judge situations, objects, and places based on stories, not facts. We let fear choose for us. We let rumors guide us. The truth is simple. Don't let a story decide your actions. Don't give power to fear you haven't questioned. And remember, sometimes the problem was never the chair.